This podcast is rated R for restricted. Under 17 requires accompanying parent or adult guardian.
Mission 250.
Welcome to the Mission 250 Filmcast, where we are watching every movie on the top 250 movies of all time list, according to IMDb. You can go to our list at mission250filmcast.com. Our list is there. It's frozen, so you can follow along and see what's coming up next. This week, we are watching number 210, which is the 2016 movie Deadpool, directed by Tim Miller. The synopsis is, a fast-talking mercenary with a morbid sense of humor is subjected to a rogue experiment that leaves him with accelerated healing powers in a quest for revenge. I am one of your hosts, Denny, and joining me are...
John?
And TC.
And this week, it's TC's turn to review the movie first. Deadpool, TC.
Great.
Go.
Yeah.
All right.
You had not seen, right?
No, I had never seen it.
So what'd you think?
So one thing I will say is that it was a definitely a change of pace for most Marvel movies that I have seen in the past.
Yeah.
It's cool. I mean, the story is cool. It's my kind of character, you know, pain in the ass, dickhead. And he's funny at times. I mean, as an actor, I'm not a huge fan all the time, but he seemed to work okay in this one. Yeah, Reynolds.
Yeah.
But this was a good role for him.
He was in a lot of
got that
romantic comedies, right? That was kind of his thing. But wasn't it kind of?
But he always had that quippy humor to him. Like that was kind of his style. So it worked here. It's cool, man. I thought it was fun to watch. I had a good time. Marvel is not really my thing either. So I'm not like waiting for the next Marvel movie every time like some people are. But I can imagine that this one did well with the teenage male group.
Yeah.
It had that sort of like amateurish, not amateur, I guess it's not the right word, but it had like an immature-ish, of way of kind of like telling the story. Mm-hmm. So I could see like the teenage group loving this one. I thought some of the visual effects were kind of bad.
Mm. Yeah.
Like there was a lot of times where I was watching just like the car chase scenes. I'm like, none of that matched. Like it just didn't.
Oh, it didn't really
look real at all. You know, I feel like a lot of the other Marvel movies, they maybe have more budget or something.
This
is like a one-off. You know, like they didn't really have it. So, I mean, I really didn't hold that too much against it. I enjoyed it. That's about. I got nothing else. Like I said, I didn't do any homework, so I got no notes, nothing. I mean, it was just kind of a cool watch on Monday when I was recouping from my hangover.
Oh yeah. John, what do you think?
I definitely TC. It's very, instead of using the word fun, I will now use the word entertaining until TC tells me to stop. It's very entertaining.
Tell him
film,
now,
TC.
Damn it, John!
So it's just very enjoyable to watch. I mean, this movie's kind of special. Because it was before I left Boston, Denny and I went to see it on, I think it was opening day we saw it, right?
It was, opening Friday.
Yeah, we went to like Montien and had a lot of drinks, and they served us food we didn't order, and
we brought bottles of wine into the theater with us.
Boxes.
Boxes.
Hey, that's not bad.
It was pretty fun.
Yeah, and it was I think it was pretty full theater. And so we were really in the mood to have a good time, I think, too. And that was just that once from that opening sequence on, it's just like, all right, let's go. You know, it's just that that's my favorite part of the film is the opening sequence and how it's this.
Of course.
Yeah, of course.
First 5 minutes.
I was awake through the whole thing. But nice. What I loved was how they did I just loved the, I thought the credits were pretty funny. And just making fun of sort of like most intros, but then I really liked how they just sort of had this very complex scene that the camera kept shifting around to, and then the scene is like recreated later on, which is kind of cool.
Yeah.
And again, I don't know how cheesy that looked. I mean, I know this film really had, comparatively speaking, a low budget. It was not really. They had to kind of fight for it, and then their budget even got reduced after they were shooting. Like by $2 more million or something like that. Denny can probably fill us in on the details, but they were low budget. I mean, and they joke about it. They're like, "Whoa, I guess the studio couldn't afford any more X-Men."
Right.
Totally true.
Yeah,
yeah. So they really joke about how low their budget was.
But and this is low. Like, how low are we talking, Denny? Is it low to them or is it low to like
it's kind
any
of
filmmaker?
It's a weird number. Like, it's $58 million is the budget. Which is very low for a superhero movie. I mean, superhero movies are all like over 150.
So it's all in perspective.
Yeah. It's for a blockbuster action Marvel movie, which this movie did amazingly well. It had a low budget compared to even compared to the other X-Men movies, right? I think it had like half the budget, if not more.
The very first X-Men, which was 17 years ago, was $75 million.
Oh wow!
So,
right, so there you go. Yeah. So they did a lot, and I think one of the things I really loved was that they put the expressions in his face that are in the comics. Deadpool has his eyes have a lot of expression to them, and so they digitized that in the movie. So that, his the whites that were his mask would like squint or grow big or whatever as he was talking. That totally, that helps so much with like conveying emotion and making things seem funny.
Yeah.
Right. And he did that little thing with his hands too in his front of his face, like, that shock one, right?
Yeah.
Like his thing. Yeah.
I love my face. I think the biggest laugh I got was when he said, everybody's afraid of the Tyrannosaurus Rex.
Yeah, when he's got his hands broken. Then he destroys his leg too.
Yeah.
He just is so stubborn. He won't stop hurting himself terribly.
That was a great point because it had the development for how powerful that woman was too. After she knocked the steel dude out.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Really gave him some weight.
Yeah, right. Or no, her even.
Her especially.
Yeah. So that Angel, that was her name, isn't that her character's name?
Yeah.
Right.
I don't know.
So I thought his what's her name? What's the name of his girlfriend there? She was good.
Vanessa.
Yeah, I thought Vanessa was good.
Oh, I love her. Right.
Yeah.
Morena Baccarin.
Firefly.
One of my
I know, right?
favorites.
Yeah.
Well, you've seen Firefly, right? TC?
Oh, of course.
So,
Okay. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So I thought she was great, and their relationship was fun.
I mean, if you can find a chick like that,
woo!
Yeah.
Oh, I even again, it's sort
all
of,
good.
It's almost hokey. But I did love their shtick about like trying to one up each other in terms of how bad their
craziness and
was.
bad there was. Yeah, that was funny. Like, and then she's like, "All right, you got me beat."
Yeah. But I grew up in a crack house. You had a house.
You had a house? Yeah, I know, right? I was like, oh man, what a good flirt. What a good flirt in the beginning, right?
Yeah, I thought that was really cool. So I think I have seen it a second time. Some parts of it weren't as fun. Kind of the some of it was more drawn out to me, like all the horror parts or the sort of like the him getting injected or whatever. It was like, I mean, it still made me squirm, and I was like, I just kind of want that to be over.
It was kind of graphic.
Let's see. I think the final battle was like weird. It's like, why he's going to kidnap the girl just to bring him out there. And I mean, it just didn't really, I don't know. It didn't seem to have a lot of weight to it, sort of. It was just like, it's basically like a grudge match between these two guys, sort of. It's not like he was trying to foil some plot or whatever, the typical superhero movie thing. Or even, but he was
That's
even
a good thing though, isn't it?
It is, but it's just like, well, I'm just mad at Deadpool, so I'm going to get his girl and make him come get me. And
it's kind of a cop out.
Knowing that he's like able to regenerate. They didn't really have much of a plan for him except to have a bunch of soldiers, and I don't know why he thought that would work.
Axes, dude.
Yeah,
2 axes. That should do the trick.
Yeah. I don't know, but that didn't. I just don't know. It just didn't seem like. It just seemed they just put that together, kind of. I don't know, which is fine.
I mean, the CG in the last part too is kind of. That was kind of the worst CG, I thought, with like the big sets and everything.
With the carrier kind of falling apart and stuff.
It didn't look very real.
No, it didn't at all.
Yeah.
But I don't know what else to say about it. I mean, I like the action sequences, particularly and normally I get bored and tired of those things pretty quickly, but I really like the action sequence. Not the freeway chasing or anything, but like I thought it was just really entertaining. The where he's like counting his bullets, and I mean, there's just a lot going on in these sequences that made it really entertaining. I like the biker getting flung against the billboard and sticking, and there were just so many there was so much stuff happening that it wasn't just. Normally in these superhero films, it's just they're just duking it out and grabbing something big and trying to whack the other guy over the head.
That's true. It was more like comic relief, like peppered in, salt and peppered in.
Yeah, it just was. There's a lot more variety in the action scenes that I think made it a lot more, at least to me, a lot more engaging than the typical superhero fighting scenes, which gets like, all right, enough. Nobody.
I did like
hurt.
how it opened up too.
Yeah. Yeah.
I liked that.
I like that still shots.
The still
just
thing,
like the camera. Did that seem well done to you, TC? I mean, you're critical of the effects. I mean, that was.
Well, I think the effects that didn't look good were when stuff was moving really fast.
Yeah.
So like that
yeah.
worked because it was slow,
Right,
right.
right.
And it was like just only camera motion amongst this weird world. But some of those like car movements, the boat or whatever the whatever you call that thing.
The carriers, the
How did
helicopter.
that? I got a question. How did that fall over? Did it blow up?
The Negasonic teenage warhead like blew herself
She
up
blew
real
up
big.
one side,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It kind of doesn't really matter though. I mean, that whole
Yeah, no, it
Yeah, I
doesn't.
mean, that's the point. I mean, it just sort of at that point, it didn't seem like they kind of didn't know really where to go or whatever. It's
and
just
they
like,
gave her those powers too, like Negasonic teenage
I mean,
warhead.
those powers kind of sucked, right?
Well, she was
Hey,
like
what-
she was like a fireball. I mean, that's kind of badass.
I guess that's cool.
But, but her character in the comic books is like a psychic, and it doesn't have like the ability to explode.
I
So
didn't
they
know
just
that.
completely changed it for plot
Oh,
purposes.
that's weird.
Yeah.
I didn't know that either. Huh.
I liked his interactions with her. I loved how direct.
Oh, yeah, when he
Deadpool-
was like-
"What are you going to
it's
be
like
like? What are you going to brooding
Yeah.
silence or,
Oh, we're gonna
or
have silence.
snapping
Or
back?"
you got me in a box here. Yeah, that was great. That was
And
great.
that's
He's like, "I
just
knew
an
it."
example. There were a lot of moments like that in the film that were just really funny. That were just really well done.
I love the one where they were in the bar and the guy like started looking for whatever his name is there, Deadpool.
Mm-hmm.
And all those dudes, like when she puts the guy up against the director, I think, right? Isn't that the director?
TJ Miller?
Yeah.
No. That's
Isn't
just
he-
he's a
no?
he's a
Oh.
famous comedian, somewhat famous.
Yeah, he's in Silicon Valley. No, that's
Yeah,
Weasel.
he's the bartender.
Yeah. He's not the director.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
So that's
anyways.
a very close name. TJ Miller is him. Tim Miller is the director.
Oh, right. Okay.
Got it. Anyway, so that dude's up against the fucking thing.
Yeah.
And they all take out their guns. Love that part. I was like, that's the kind of bar I want to be at.
Yeah.
I want to be well known at that bar. So next time some asshole's screwing with me, they got all their guns out. It's awesome.
Yeah.
But then also in the beginning, they have like Deadpools on themselves, so they try to like get each other to kill each other. So that
That's
was
true.
That
yeah.
would suck.
No. That particular part of the bar, not so great.
Yeah.
But the rest of that, yeah. It was like a bunch of bikers in one bar or something. You know?
Yeah.
A bunch of
Yeah, they're
biker
all
dudes.
hitmen, right?
Yeah.
Was that the deal?
I think that's what they
Right,
are.
yeah,
right?
yeah, that was their whole point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like a
So I don't know if there's anything else. I mean, I think Ryan Reynolds really looked like he was having like just a blast, and that really came through. And that's always a kind of fun thing to see. I know this, the background of this movie is that he really fought to play this role, and he fought for the movie to happen, and so that's kind of cool. And it sort of like got sparked by there's in the actual Deadpool comic. He says that he looks like a cross between Ryan Reynolds and I forget what the other part of it is. Denny might remember something disgusting. So he actually mentions Ryan Reynolds by name in the Deadpool comic well before this film was ever made. And that was part of like that drew it to Ryan Reynolds' attention.
So what I heard was that it was when Ryan Reynolds was in Blade 3, a fan sent him a note saying he should play Wade Wilson. So Ryan Reynolds got a note, saying that his character in Blade 3 was like how Deadpool should be. And that's how he like he's like, what's Deadpool? And so he started reading the comics and he's like, these are pretty good comics. So then that's when he got really into it.
But he was like referenced in Deadpool. I wonder if that was even before he was referenced. By,
it could have been a complete coincidence, yeah.
I completely, totally, and absolutely do not remember anything about Blade 3. So
I don't remember that day.
I know,
Wesley Snipes.
I did see it. Yeah, I did see it. Yeah, but
Yeah.
I don't remember anything about it.
Yeah.
Other than yes, Wesley Snipes.
Yeah. So my turn. I'll go. I love this movie.
Yeah.
I've seen this. I watched both commentaries on this movie.
Jeez.
I've seen it like 6 times at this point. And I think
my
it's
God.
because I love Ryan Reynolds.
Aww.
Ever since Waiting in college was one of my favorite movies. I don't know if you guys have seen that movie.
Oh yeah, no, those were funny
what's
times
it called?
for him.
Waiting?
Yeah, where they're all waiters in a bar or in a
It's
restaurant.
pretty much like an Applebee's kind of, and they're all waiters.
Oh, okay.
And they all
Oh,
like
it's
fuck with
hilarious.
each other, and they're terrible
Yeah.
employees, and it's really, really funny.
And he has that same act going on. in
Yeah,
this.
it's very similar
Yeah.
to that. And I love it. He's like, I don't know, he's kind of like a ladies' man, but he's got a very like effeminate voice going on. And he's quippy and quick, and he has like very small but very deliberate movements. They're a little bit more exaggerated in this movie. He's pretty exaggerated overall. But yeah, he's kind of like I kind of compare him to like how Jim Carrey was in like the Ace Ventura movies, just like good at his job, but like really annoying to everybody around him. in like a cartoony kind of way.
Mm.
And it pretty much just does stuff to entertain himself. So I don't know.
Right. Yeah.
The CG, I would agree, is pretty bad sometimes, but it's kind of forgivable because it's not one of those movies that, like X-Men, you go see it because the special effects are supposed to be good because the rest of those movies suck. This one I thought had like really good comedy. It's rewatchable too, I think. There's still some jokes I don't get. And I think I'd have to look them up to understand them because they seem pretty old. Like his purse has like a famous woman on it, and I actually looked that one up. And I forget what her name is, but she was the woman from the movie The Jerk back from like the 70s.
Oh.
You know who I'm talking about? I'll look it up real quick.
Negative.
And I thought the movie did lull, John. I'll agree with you at the torture scene. Kind of, it slows down a bit. Bernadette Peters is the person that I was talking about. It's on his purse, and he's like a fan of her. She was born in 1948, so it's kind of a weird thing. But she was in The Jerk and stuff. But
do you know the story behind the pony? Because I don't.
I don't either. What's the deal with the unicorn?
I don't know. But
I have no idea.
Yeah, I feel like you might know, like we might know more if we knew the comic books, but
yeah, there might be something there.
It does seem like a lot of the stuff was Ryan Reynolds' ideas. He just like threw in there. So I'm not sure.
Or do you know that?
Well, so listening to the commentary, it was pretty much like the screenwriters wrote the screenplay like 8 years before they greenlit the movie, and they rewrote it like a bunch of times over the years. But as they were making it, a bunch of the really good and classic jokes came from Ryan Reynolds. Like that line about how Fox couldn't afford more X-Men was ad-libbed on the day.
That's
from
awesome.
Ryan Reynolds. Yeah, I get a list of all the good ones, but I don't know. What do you guys want to talk about on this one? I got my stupid questions. I got a lot of trivia.
So I got a question just on the comic book. How popular was the comic book? I don't ever remember hearing about it.
John,
was it like something I just missed out on?
I don't. He's kind of like a secondary Wolverine, isn't he?
Well, that's Wolverine. I think he first appeared in Wolverine, and then he became his own thing. And I'm not a comic person, so I don't know. But he seems to have a good fan base. I mean, I think he's popular amongst people that love comics. And this is a certain style, where he would do these things like break the fourth wall and all of that. But he was also, I got a collection of his stuff, like one of the first series, and at the end of it, he kills himself. I mean, there's some tragedy to this, to his character. I mean, he's sort of suffering.
Yeah.
I don't remember, at least in the comics I was reading, I don't remember the girlfriend playing such a role. They really put there was a lot of meaning to love interest on this. I don't know how she kisses him so quickly. Full on kissing.
Pepperoni pizza.
Blah. Anyway.
No, I thought, what do you guys think of the relationship stuff? I've really bought into their relationship.
I
really
thought it was
liked
great. I wish I had a relationship like that.
Yeah. And as far as these things go for a comic book movie, I mean, again, I thought it was great. I thought it was one of the highlights of it in terms of him really caring and being afraid to face her, and all that stuff it didn't just feel like a plot device. And,
that felt normal. Like that's what people do, right?
Yeah, right.
That's the dumbest things that people do right there. They leave. They don't say anything. They don't talk.
Yeah, him wanting to leave because he was dying. I mean that all worked.
That all checks out.
Yeah.
That all checks out, folks. It's all checking out.
Yeah. And I thought the cancer stuff was like appropriately heavy too.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I liked the timing of when he asked her to marry her and then he fell on the floor. That was like, just a typical life thing, right? There were some great lines too about the life is just a train wreck. And there's something else too. Like it was just like, this is what happens, right? And and that was genuine because it's true. Like everybody has these issues. Like when things are going, what do you say? It's like life is like a bunch of train wrecks that have like little lapses in commercial breaks or something like that. I can't remember what he said. But it was like little commercial breaks of time. That's happiness. And the rest of the time is a mess. It's always a mess.
Yeah. Back to your regularly scheduled programming.
Right. Exactly. And I thought that was like they touched on a couple of those things. And I think what made it more genuine is it's because it can be relatable for almost any viewer. Right?
Yeah. So you got this sort of funny, quirky comedy stuff going on, but behind it is some, that he's using humor to deal with some really terrible things, and that really comes across in a way that doesn't feel forced or faked.
Right.
That's what's kind of that again. I think what makes this more than just I mean, again, you're totally right, TC, that there's kind of I would have teenage me would have thought this movie was awesome.
Awesome. Yeah,
right?
absolutely.
But I think it's that there's a depth to it because of some of the seriousness there and the way they handle it well that makes this even more than that, to where like older people like us can still go along for the ride because there's some of this sort of like deeper stuff there.
Yeah, I'm not as mature as you guys in terms of sense of humor. I thought like every second of this movie was hilarious. Like every stupid comment, like even.
Oh, I did. I think I don't think there was a miss. Hardly. I don't
think so either.
I mean, I'm not sure if there was.
There was one part where I noticed, and they brought it up in the commentary, and it made a lot of sense. Was the scene right after all the torture stuff where Wade, I guess before he's Deadpool, goes to try to like see Vanessa and see what's happening.
He's like following her.
Yeah, and so it's like torture scene followed by sad scene, and then it goes to him. He's talking to T.J. Miller for the first time, and T.J. Miller is just making fun of him.
Right. Like your avocado having angry sex with another avocado.
Right. Yeah, that was great. That was hilarious.
I find myself not laughing very much at that scene, and I was confused why, but I think they mentioned it. It's like they mentioned that it played better in commercials because they use it as a commercial than in theaters, because like you're riding in this movie and you just hit like two separate scenes of like sad, depressing stuff, like the two least funniest things. So it's hard to like transition back into funny. But out of context, it's good for commercials.
Oh yeah, no, it's great. Yeah, but you're right. I think that's sort of it's not as funny right there because you're kind of with him in terms of his suffering.
Yeah,
at that point, I didn't think he was as hideous as he was made out to be.
No, I mean, he wasn't that bad. He just looked like a burn victim.
Yeah. I wasn't. Again, maybe it's a budget thing, but
I don't know. If you saw him in real life, wouldn't you be like, what the hell happened to you?
No, I'd be like, burn victim and move on.
Exactly.
Yeah,
I'd be like, oh, that
bad.
sucks. All right, anyways.
I mean, I agree that it probably didn't
But they
merit.
made it out to be like, well, I mean, I know a lot of that was in his own head in that scene where he's walking and following her and everyone's looking at him. Like, they probably weren't really looking at him. He was just feeling that.
Yeah.
I feel like they were trying to do that, but it didn't, like, why would he feel that bad about it? I mean, I guess I've never experienced anything like that, so I can't say how you would feel, but it does seem like it was overkill because he didn't look that bad. It's not like he was missing an eye and his lips were gone or something. It was like,
they like to reference Freddy Krueger, who is a lot more awful looking. Freddy Krueger looked worse than he did,
for sure.
But it's fine.
But dude, you have Robert England under there versus Ryan Reynolds. I mean, come on, how much makeup can you possibly put on somebody?
That's true. That's true. I mean, he's still pretty inside or outside or whatever. I don't know.
I don't know.
In the middle. He's pretty in the middle.
Who knows anymore? I don't know.
His bone structure is still nice.
I mean, again, I didn't mind that. And it might be better for that. If he was truly disgusting, that might have been too... I know that at some point there's commentary about the director not wanting to get him to be... they wanted him to not look good, but they didn't want to like have him oozing pus or anything like that.
Yeah. That'd be gross. They could have got away with it, though.
Right.
This movie's violent as shit.
Oh, yeah. No. It's maybe more about just sympathizing with the character, I guess. I don't know. But yeah, no, the movie's really terribly violent.
Yeah, pretty awesomely. It's like really graphic violence, but it kind of, for some reason, since you don't fear him dying, it's not as scary for some reason.
Yeah, and it's humor. I mean, he's just brutally murdering people left and right, too. And you're like, I mean, I don't know. He's got like two swords through a guy and skewers him in half, and it's
pretty awesome. But that guy was a mutant though, so you can't feel bad for him.
Well, no, the guy that he killed with the one of the biker dudes, where I guess he was a mutant.
Yeah, he got shot in the head.
He like shot him. Yeah, he got shot him, and he pulled the bullet out. So,
I guess he had like a metal skull, but not a metal chest plate.
Hey, mutants feel pain too. What do you mean? What do you mean we don't feel bad for the mutants?
Ajax doesn't feel pain.
Ajax doesn't feel pain.
Yeah. Wrong movie to say that in, John.
He would be easier to kill though, because like eventually his body won't work.
Yeah, I was surprised because there were scenes where he got like stabbed, and you would think even if you don't feel pain, you're cutting into muscle, and the muscle is the thing that's moving you around. Like, wouldn't it hamper your ability to move?
Yeah. You'd think. Well, he must have had some regenerative.
He apparently wasn't supposed to, because the scene. This is again commentary stuff where the scene where what the hell's her name, the MMA fighter's character, Angel. Is sewing him up after the sword through the chest. That was supposed to be like, look, he doesn't have regenerative power. You have to fix him.
Oh, you get a sword through your chest that sticks you through a concrete barrier. I don't know.
There's nothing up there technically, right? I mean, you fuck up your bones and your muscles, but
Yeah, well, that would be enough.
Yeah, it would be enough. But it is a superhero, I guess. Who knows?
Yeah.
Extra muscle. Maybe he just like has muscle to spare. Yeah, you guys want to go into commentary for this one? I feel like we could just
I'm interested in doing that. I mean, I know just a couple of things like the movie, the sort of the movie like was like being written for a long time, and it didn't get traction in terms of actually being made. And then there was like a screen test that got leaked that everybody loved, like some video of Ryan Reynolds being Deadpool. But he was also in Wolverine Origins,
Mm-hmm.
and it didn't go so well. It wasn't. People didn't seem to like it there.
Yeah.
So, I mean, those are the only things I know. I mean, it's interesting that this movie had a troubled past. Like, it looked like it wasn't going to get made for a while.
Yeah.
But that's it. Go, Denny. Go.
Go. Let's see. Just first of all, this movie is going to spawn like a shit ton of R-rated superhero movies.
Oh, yeah. Like, highest grossing R-rated movie.
Second highest.
Second highest?
Second
What was
highest
the
to the Passion of the Christ.
Well,
baby.
that don't count.
Can't beat Jesus.
Deadpool,
Can't beat Jesus.
That just doesn't count.
Can't beat Jesus.
Sorry, that just doesn't count.
It did have the highest R-rated opening weekend, though, because apparently that Jesus movie had some legs. All those parents taking their kids to go see an R-rated movie.
Look at him suffer in this great in this.
Dude, I'm gonna go see it again.
So much.
I feel so religious right now.
Oh man, that's so weird.
It pretty much showed people. Isn't that annoying though? Sometimes like the studio execs are like, there are rules that are set in stone, and no R-rated movie can make a lot of money. And you're like, it will. It will if it's good. If the marketing is good and it's funny, that's what people want. It has nothing to do. Like people will sneak in. There'll be theaters that won't like ID kids and stuff. Just freaking make R-rated movies.
Yeah, or a big budget film that's going to be R-rated, right? And this was relatively low budget comparatively, but still, like the idea you're not going to have a blockbuster that's R, right?
Yeah, but there has been before, like Hangover movies.
Yeah,
were huge.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I mean that's kind of cool.
We were really primed for this after all the superhero movies that we had that like took themselves so seriously, but still were kind of trying to be kid friendly, sort of. I think that it just was great to see like all the rules are broken, including like being decent or whatever. And I think that it just this PG year would have been awful.
Yes.
Oh yeah, it would have been terrible. No, you need all the swears.
Yeah. But also all just like the raunchiness of it, like really is it's weird to say it's refreshing, but it is.
Yeah.
I mean, for a superhero movie.
Yeah, the sex jokes are pretty funny. The tiny hand thing with like the old
that was hilarious.
God.
Yeah.
It's gonna feel so
huge.
big.
Go, feel huge. Go. Like get out.
Yeah, I feel like we could just talk about like every single like funny scene, but I don't know how that would be. That might be stupid.
No, but it's really telling with this movie. I think as far as a comedy goes, it's like there's so many good spots.
Yeah,
like so many good lines in it in terms of like setting up the jokes and having them pay off well.
And it doesn't die towards the end. Like so many comedies kind of like lose. I feel like they write half of it and they're like, this is awesome. And then they're like, how do we finish the second half of this?
Yeah.
And then there's no jokes or anything.
No, the jokes are still there. I mean, I think the plot sort of kind of suffered from that a little maybe. But
I thought some of the funniest parts were at the very end. Like
no, it was still funny. It was still funny where Colossus is talking to him about being a hero and he shoots the guy.
Or the weird. What do you guys think of the scene where the cartoon characters came into frame?
Oh, that was creepy.
That was
when
weird.
He's tripping. When he was stabbed in the head.
Yeah.
Right. So he was to like tripping balls.
They like hired some French cartoonist to do this. I think
I thought it was the wife of the director.
No, I thought it was some obscure French guy.
Well, so the director said that his wife did at least the ending credit cartoon.
Okay, yeah, that was a different style than the stabbed in the head cartoons.
It looks fairly similar. I'm wrong though.
I would disagree.
Okay, I believe you. But yeah, the director. This is his first movie, and he owned a special effects company before this one. So that's how he.
I mean, I did like the animations at the end were pretty cute.
Yeah.
Did you watch the whole thing, TC? The very, very end? Did you get to see all the stingers?
No, the alternate ending is what I missed that too.
Oh, there's an alternate. I didn't know about that.
Yeah, there's an alternate ending. I had to buy this friggin' movie because I couldn't find it anywhere to rent.
Oh wow!
So I own Deadpool now.
Well, congratulations.
It's worth a rewatch. Right?
No, and I was thinking to myself, right? Like I should be buying all these movies, right? So like at the end of it, I have something to show for it because I'm never gonna listen to them again. Like I'm not gonna fire it up. Go, hey boys, you want to listen to the podcast?
Yeah.
No, that's never gonna happen.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna need something to show, and all I got right now is a bunch of digital orders. So great, I can pull up a PDF and be like, look, I did a podcast. That's about all I freaking got out of this right now. But now I own Deadpool, so it's 1 out of 250.
Nice.
Yeah.
You haven't bought any other ones until this one?
No.
Oh,
not
damn.
really.
No.
I just rent them.
Yeah.
Hey,
On Amazon
had
or whatever.
How did you
$2?
get, oh, Beauty and the Beast, though? When we started the first one, it was like Disney was withholding it because they were going to release an anniversary edition. So it was really hard to
rented it. I rented it, I think, online.
Oh, rented. Makes
Yeah,
sense.
all
that's
these
what
ones
you
are
did.
rentable. They're just not like most of them that you can rent them or buy them digitally.
Yeah.
I just rent them because you can get them on Google Play, you can get them on Amazon, get them on iTunes.
Yeah.
So there's a plug for all
So
three of those.
did you
but,
watch through the end credits where he starts talking to
I
you?
watched to the credits and then I think something stupid happened. Like
Oh.
my browser quit and I just didn't turn it back on.
Oh, okay, yeah, it's pretty funny. He tells you to, you should watch it through the end.
It was okay.
I want to. Did you see the alternate ending, Denny?
Yeah.
No, what's the
alternate
alternate
ending? No.
ending?
So what happens in the alternate ending?
No, it's the alternate ending. I didn't even know it existed. I have no idea. I
okay.
can look it up real quick.
I'll do that.
shoot.
You got
Okay.
things to talk about, Denny.
Yeah, go for it, John. Let's see. So there were 9 Deadpool suits. They were all real, and they just CG'd the mask, like John said. They destroyed 7 during the filming of the movie, just doing stunts and stuff. And Ryan Reynolds stole one of them, and it's in his house. It was actually apparently when he was. So it was him and 2 of the screenwriters, Burt Reese and Paul Wernick. And they had the Deadpool outfit sitting next to them at the commentary.
Oh.
Or at least they said they did. They probably didn't.
You never know, right?
Yeah. So the screen test that was leaked was the car battle scene. They were given $275,000 to do the screen test, and it didn't seem like after they filmed it that they were going to give them the rest of the money. So they won't say who it was, but one of the people who worked on it purposely leaked it to the internet to get like the hype going. So, and if it wasn't for that, if the guy didn't like break the rules, then it would not have been made. Pretty much, no one would have ever seen it.
Yeah, it turned out to be a very good thing.
Yeah, for everybody, for movies in general, even hopefully. But I bet
I'm not seeing an alternate ending anywhere.
It's on my purchase. I'll find out. See if it says.
So the bridge fight scene was like filmed on an actual bridge in Vancouver for 2.5 weeks, and everybody that lived in Vancouver hated the movie because of it. They all knew it was Deadpool.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, isn't Vancouver pretty used to people shooting stuff in it? Why were they that mad?
I think it was like a bridge that went to, I don't know. It seemed like a pretty.
Oh, it's like the only one.
Yeah.
Like the traffic was screwed for
it was
2
like
weeks.
it was like 4 lanes and it was a bridge. So I don't know. That probably would have screwed with traffic, I would imagine.
Huh. Right.
But yeah, but it was funny because they were talking about how like so all the mobsters in that scene were the stuntmen throughout the movie. So they got some like FaceTime in there, which was kind of cool, I thought. Because usually you don't get to see stuntmen's faces. But the first ones that were killed, they were shooting for 2.5 weeks. So the first ones that were killed had to like lay down in piles of blood for 2 weeks for whole days, pretty much. So they could like be in the same spot as they shot the rest of it.
Oh, God.
So that must have been a weird thing to do.
Yeah, that must have been rough.
Yeah. The entire movie was shot in Vancouver. Just FYI.
That makes sense. Cheap town.
Cheap town. Apparently everyone's like nice. They're like
And
nice
it looks
to work
great
with.
and it looks great on screen.
Yeah. And it rains a lot. So like almost all of the rain scenes in this were real rain.
Probably real, huh?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, natural.
The exception was the alleyway scene where Vanessa gets kidnapped. They had to fake that one.
Oh.
Apparently it's hard to shoot in rain scenes. You have to dry people off in between each take.
Yeah, typically they like to not be soaked.
Yeah.
Oh, I guess so, yeah.
Just like in the cold ones, you got to have a car ready that's warm or something, you know?
Yeah. So did you guys notice a B. Arthur t-shirt at any point in the movie that Ryan Reynolds is wearing?
No.
Like from the Golden Girls?
From the Golden Girls.
No, I didn't notice
At
that.
least you knew what the reference was, John. Again, I'm over here drunk. Like, I don't know what he's talking about.
Old TV show. And
There you go.
so there's a scene where he's pretending to order pizza and he like holds the guy up that's delivering pizza. He has a B.
Right.
Arthur shirt on, and he wanted to wear it so much that he spent $10,000 for the rights to be able to wear that in the movie.
That's awesome.
Whoa.
Which is nobody. He did it like somehow in secret because this movie was very like they were scrimping on everything. And he spent that much for
That's I still that's one of the things that make me like this movie a lot though is his passion to just do what he wanted in this movie.
Yeah. It's very that isn't even that funny, is it?
No, it totally soared over the heads of most people. But he just wanted it. He's like, I don't know. He just felt like this has to be done. I want this.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Cool.
Yeah.
So the 48-day shoot, which is short for a superhero movie. By comparison, the Green Lantern was 89 days.
Oh, that classic.
Classic movie.
Yeah, I know. I was gonna say I don't think I've seen that one.
Yeah, I don't. You don't have to.
Did you
That's
get the
what I said, I
references?
wanted to.
He makes fun of it like 4 times in this movie.
Oh, really?
Does he?
I didn't notice.
Didn't he play that one too?
He did, yeah, and that's why, and
Okay.
it like kind of ruined his career in a lot of ways.
Oh, I didn't even know this. No. Let's see. So, how did he refer? What were the references?
So there's one where he's being pushed in to become a mutant, and he's like, "Please don't make my superhero suit green or CG."
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, there's one where what else is it? There's a few. That's the only one I can remember. But he shits on it a few times.
Oh, nice.
And himself. Do you think this is the only movie where the actor in the movie is referencing himself through a different character? You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I mean that because I mean he has license to do it because it happened in the comic, right? So
Oh, did it? I mean, it's also him too. So how do
no, but that's why I said like Deadpool in the comic referenced himself as a cross between Ryan Reynolds and something else.
Oh, that's true.
I need to look that up.
They're
now,
breaking the fourth wall, and the fourth wall break. It's just like the thing he said, right?
Yeah, that part was great.
That was funny.
But in this one, he says something like, "Do you think Ryan Reynolds became famous through his acting skills?"
Oh, did he?
Yeah, so he's just he's ripping it on himself.
Yeah.
So it says, if you looked like Ryan Reynolds crossed with a Shar-Pei, you'd understand. That's one of the lines from a Deadpool comic.
Is a Shar-Pei a dog?
Yeah.
What kind of really?
Yeah.
I don't know what that dog looks like, but that's
I
kind of
have no idea what that is. Yeah.
So his makeup, if you were to guess how long it took him to put on full body makeup, how long would you guess?
6 hours.
John?
I'm not sure.
8 to 9 hours
Damn.
in full body makeup.
That's insane.
And then they start shooting for what? Like 3 hours?
16
a day or what?
hours. 16
Oh,
hours.
wow. Wow.
There was a scene where he was fighting.
Long day for him.
Yeah, there was one day where he was fighting Ajax in that burning building. That he had full body makeup for that one, and that was a 16-hour day. And that place they were shooting, it looked. I don't know why they did real fire in that because it looked mostly CG or all CG, but there was real fire combined with the CG for that. So it was like hot as hell in there, and he was
Probably screws up the makeup.
They didn't mention any of that, but they said that he was he just as soon as they yelled cut for the day, every time he had that makeup on, he would just rip it off. He wouldn't wait for the makeup guys to come. He would just and it kind of pissed the makeup guy off because you can save some of it. But yeah, he was just
which means he had to start over every time.
Yeah,
That sucks.
yeah. But apparently,
Bro,
it was hot
if you
as
just
shit.
held on 5 more minutes, I could have redone this tomorrow in like a quarter of the time.
Yeah, but it would have been sweaty and smelly in there already.
Yeah, it would have been nasty. It's better
Yeah.
probably to start fresh, but more difficult. Like, what are they
More
getting paid
time.
for, right? Fuck.
You could probably sleep sitting up. You probably get good at that. I would imagine if you can.
I don't know.
Yeah, I have no idea.
No idea.
TJ Miller, the bartender guy.
Yeah.
You can't control him while filming a movie, apparently.
Oh, really?
Yeah. He just,
What do you mean?
he improvs no matter what. That's all he does is improv. Don't hire him unless you want improv. And to a fault. Everyone was praising him, saying he was hilarious, and he was, but there were scenes where the end of his jokes needed to be timed out with the entrance of other characters.
Oh, no.
The one they said specifically was where Ajax and Angel were coming in when he was telling that how much longer do you have left to live? 5 what? 4, 3, 2. That joke.
Oh yeah.
Every take would be doing a different joke, and the actors that were coming in would come in and he's not finished yet, so they walk back out. He'd screw up takes that way. They couldn't get it.
Oh, man.
Yeah. They had to yell at him to dude, do the same joke.
Joke, yeah. What the fuck?
Yeah.
He's funny, though.
He's
he just likes to do
hilarious.
jokes.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's funny.
The scenes with the most outtakes were mostly him.
Oh,
and
I'm sure.
mostly the scene where he
Oh,
was
yeah.
making fun of Deadpool for the first time.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I think the second most outtake scene was where Ryan Reynolds calls Angel less angry Rosie O'Donnell.
Right.
He had a lot of different ones there. That's such a weird burn on Rosie O'Donnell, by the way.
Yeah, I don't know why she. Yeah, whatever.
The makeup guy, by the way, his name's Bill Corso, and he's like a legendary makeup guy. He was the first guy they had to call when it was greenlit, and they got him, so that was good. And I thought the makeup was kind of good. I don't know, it kind of looked like a mask.
And yeah, it didn't look horrible.
Yeah, better than a CG face. That's for sure.
Better than yeah, exactly. That's I was just gonna say something just like that.
Yeah. There was they show this on TV, by the way, which is weird. There's a TV edit of this movie, which is like censored, like for cable TV. And the scene where TJ Miller is at Wade Wilson's house, and the what's her name, the old blind woman is around, and Wade leaves. This might be confusing so it's TJ Miller and the old blind woman, and TJ turns to her and goes, "Want to get fucked up?" Remember that part?
I don't think so.
So that part gets edited to "want to get felt up."
Oh, weird.
Which is worse than getting fucked up.
Right?
Yeah. But it's not a swear. So
so I guess it makes sense.
Yeah.
That's weird on TV, huh?
Yeah, that's pretty funny though.
How often does this air on TV? Is it just or it just did, so they had to make an edit? Is that what you're saying?
I don't know. I can't imagine this movie would be any good edited in any way. Like all the funny jokes are either sexual or have swears in them, and every good part of it's violent.
I think they're showing it on HBO right now, so they wouldn't edit it for that.
Right. Yeah, it would be for like TNT or USA or whatever.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, but yeah, I don't know. Maybe they just made one just in case, so they didn't have to like work on it when they got the offer or something.
Yeah, who knows?
Yeah, who knows? They said that this is just kind of nerd trivia, I guess. The Negasonic Teenage Warhead's X suit is the first classic X-Men unitard shown in a Marvel movie. Which is weird. And this isn't even a Marvel movie. This is a Fox movie, but I guess it's a Marvel property or whatever. I don't know how that
Marvel
works out.
Branded it a little bit here and there too, though. Yeah.
So the coda, John, that I didn't think the coda was like too funny. I thought it was like okay, and it was appropriate. Kind of it like teased if the cable thing people are excited about. He says that cable's going to be in the next one.
Right. Yeah. But he's like, go away. Get out of here. No, it was just more like what are you doing sitting around?
Yeah.
Go.
You know what we're doing, dude. Your movies have trained us to wait at the end of superhero movies for one last laugh. But
I think you're right. I think compared to the rest of the movie, it wasn't as funny. It was kind of nice, but he could have made more fun of this.
Listen to this. This is what they wanted to do, and this would have been hilarious. So there's like a joke towards the end where Deadpool says to Colossus, "Tell Beast to stop shitting on my lawn."
Oh yeah.
They had a sting planned, a coda planned where Nicholas Hoult was in as well to be Beast, and Deadpool was going to catch Beast shitting on his lawn, and he was going to chase him away. And it was Nick Hoult plays Beast in like the live action ones. It would have been him. It would have been like the actual movie Beast, just squatting,
shitting on his lawn. Yeah. That's funny. That would be funny.
So here's a commentary review. Watch the Ryan Reynolds commentary. Do not watch the Tim Miller commentary.
Oh.
Is he just more funny as usual, or?
Ryan Reynolds is very funny. It's like it's surprisingly insightful. I'd say 80% of it is like information you want to know, which is high for commentaries. Most of the time they just like talk to each other or say how good everybody was, that sort of thing.
Right.
But like these guys are giving enough information while being funny. Like Ryan Reynolds is being funny. Tim Miller one is 20% useful information, 80% talking about how good the movie is. And it's kind of awkward listening to the director being like, "Oh man, this part is awesome. This is my favorite part. Oh, this part's my favorite part. Oh, this is my favorite part." You're like, okay, well, thank you for making this movie, but this is kind of a waste of time to listen to. But but there was some good information on it. The title screen, how it's like some, what is it, a tool or whatever, like
no, all the credits, like the writers were the real heroes here,
right?
Yeah, that was funny.
Yeah,
directed by some overpaid dude.
Yeah,
a British villain, a moody teenager.
Who was the
cameo?
Who was the gratuitous cameo? Was that Stan Lee? That was Stan Lee.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. He was in. I remember seeing him, and I was like, "Hey, there he is."
Yeah, strip club DJ.
Strip club DJ. There he is. Yeah. Of course, I remember that one.
But that idea was a placeholder idea. They had that because they didn't have anybody cast, so they put that in there because they had like the idea for the intro.
Oh, they were just having fun. They didn't think that they were actually going to keep it. Oh,
right.
That's great.
Yeah, and they actually like removed it to a point and had like regular titles, but then they screened it that way, and it like the movie wasn't funny in the beginning. Like that scene isn't funny without that. It's just like kind of violent and cool. So like people didn't start laughing until much later in the movie. But then if you play it with that intro, people are like instantly ready to like have a good time with this movie.
Yeah, exactly. No, that was totally, I completely agree. That was what I kind of described when we went and saw it in the theater. You're just like right after the credits, you're like, all right, we're on board with this.
It was one of those things like, even if the rest of this is bad, that was a really good intro scene at the very least.
Yeah.
It was a great combination of just being, and it was the rest of the movie is like this. It's like a lot of action and some creative thinking, and then a lot of humor, and it's all like there, which is really nice.
Yeah. So they had the Deadpool suit was padded originally, but Ryan Reynolds got so jacked for this movie that they put the suit on him, and they had to remove all the padding.
Oh, wow!
And that yeah.
He looked pretty impressive.
That suit is so cool. It looks awesome. It's got to be like one of the best made suits in a movie, I think. I don't know.
Yeah, I agree. I thought, I mean, just in general, the way he looked. And again, part of that was his the CGI eyes and stuff that made it look so he could still be really expressive in the suit. But yeah.
Yeah, I noticed one thing about the sound is they had to ADR everything because the quality of his voice had to be ADR'd when he had the suit on.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So therefore, any other scene that you do, you're not going to go to production audio. So they ADR'd fucking everything.
Really?
Noticeable sometimes. It seemed noticeable, to me.
Oh, I couldn't tell. Wow.
In the beginning, when they were having their first conversation, the two of them, Morena Baccarin and him.
Oh, yeah.
He goes from talking in his suit to them talking, like cuts to them talking, or I forget what it was. It was like a flashback or something. And I noticed it immediately because it was like it was the same quality and the same closeness, and they didn't really change the mix at all for him to now be in like a space.
Yeah.
And then I started watching it further. I'm like, oh yeah, they ADR'd this whole friggin' thing.
Wow,
absolutely.
That's good though, isn't it? Like that's you want it to be clear and consistent.
No, you
throughout.
want it to not notice it, and you didn't notice it.
Yeah,
so
but you did.
That's pretty good. Oh yeah, I noticed it, but
Yeah.
that's because I'm a stickler for that BS. No one's paying attention to that, dude.
That's true.
You know what I mean? Nobody. Like, who cares? Oh, great, you found something that no one's looking for. Awesome. You know? Yeah, fantastic.
Yeah. I'm going to shit on the second commentary again. They would watch it. One guy would be telling a story. This happened a couple times, and one of the other guy would start laughing, and then the first guy would think that he's laughing at his story, so he'd start laughing, and the first guy would go like, "Oh no, I'm not laughing at you. I'm laughing at the movie." And like, you're not even listening to the other guy. You're just watching the freaking movie. You asshole. You're here to give me information.
And now we're just watching the movie with you.
Yeah. And that's not fun. I don't know you.
I mean, it seems like that director is kind of I don't know. I mean, he's not on the second one, right?
No, he left.
They had a parting of the ways, right?
Yeah, because he wanted to do more than they wanted to give him, and the actors were on board for doing the same kind of thing. So
I'm actually kind of excited after listening to the commentary so Ryan Reynolds and the writers are on Deadpool 2, and they were the ones who made it funny, you know? And I'm not like, I mean, how much do you have to direct Ryan Reynolds? I feel like he was directing himself. He's just being himself.
Right.
You know, people are ad-libbing. He's naturally funny. I don't know. So I'm not too worried about Deadpool 2 personally, that like they lost Tim Miller. But we'll see, I guess. I'm not sure who's doing it.
Right.
But so in terms of ad-libbing, the way they did that was they'd get like a good/okay version of what was written in the script to appease the studio, and then they just ad-lib for as long as they were allowed to.
Oh wow!
And they'd always just use the ad-lib stuff.
Huh.
Oh, I hope they follow the same formula for number 2 then.
Yeah, and that takes a lot of guts on the actor's part.
It does. A lot of confidence
to do that.
It explains why so much hit. Like they kept like doing it until they got something where everybody kind of agreed, oh yeah, that was it. That was a good one.
Funny. Yeah, right.
As opposed to just like having some magic script or just ad-libbing, and sometimes you have clunkers and sometimes you don't, but you just move on.
Right.
Yeah. Well, when you have a low budget like this, you can have a clunker and everyone's like, that's cool. We didn't spend any money really today.
Yeah.
We'll try again tomorrow.
They apparently
you get those bigger budget stuff and there's no room for error. So
yeah. They talked about all these scenes that were funny that they had to remove, and they sounded pretty damn funny, but they're like, we had to remove it for, pacing in the movie. Like, you have to keep it moving. Apparently there was a 5-minute thing where he was shitting on the Green Lantern, where he went around and like stole the dead bodies' wallets and just like slapped them around and stuff. And that's I didn't watch it, but you can find that apparently. But they had to remove it because it's like too long. I don't know. There's a bunch of good jokes that they had to remove. So I mean, they were overflowing with good stuff in this one. It wasn't like, this isn't very funny here. What are we gonna do?
So no wonder why they wanted rid of that director then.
Yeah,
because he wanted to change the whole thing up. He wanted it to be a serious superhero movie, and they're like, no.
Do you think
it's
that's
a joke?
Yeah. Is that what it was?
Funny. I was reading about it while we were talking earlier. Yeah.
Oh, fuck that. Jeez.
Yeah, they got rid of him because he wanted to do a budget triple the amount of the first one, and everyone was like, nah. We were just going to do like a similar budget and have a great movie again. Because
nice.
all the actors were like, no, we're good. We don't need all that extra stuff. We'll just do what we did.
Yeah, they like dug themselves a little like niche corner of the movie market.
Right. Yeah, so why fuck with it?
Yeah,
and change it? Because he wanted to do something new for Deadpool 2, and everyone was like, nah, let's do what we did. It was great.
And I bet you can get people for cheap, and they'll just sign on to like a percentage of the movie because they know it's going to be huge. So the budget won't be like big, but they'll make money.
Yeah,
still.
Some studio exec was like, ha! Yeah, you're funny. Yeah, sure, triple the budget. Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah.
That's a good one. So we getting rid of this guy? What? Huh?
And he also apparently
he left not very happy.
Oh, wow.
Obviously.
He ruined takes too, apparently. He said in the commentary, he's like, sometimes I forgot I was a director and I'd just be watching Ryan and I'd laugh and ruin the take. And you're like, what the hell?
Oh, wow. That's pretty unprofessional.
That's something you brag about. It's like,
yeah. He was okay with it, it sounded like.
And he's not getting another job out of it, so.
No, probably. He'll probably get something.
Well, no, from the Deadpool.
Right, yeah.
I meant, yeah.
I don't know. TC, have you heard this? The director said you're not supposed to ask actors to cry as a director.
Oh, I don't know. I've never heard that. I'm not a director.
Yeah. It sounded like it was like if you are a director and you ask somebody to cry, everybody will think you're an amateur, is what he said. But he is an amateur, so he might still not know what he's talking about.
Says from a guy who just admitted to laughing during, shot in progress.
But he also admitted to asking actors to cry, and everyone said, don't do that. You're not supposed to do that.
I think like for the actor, I think the actor and the director kind of have an understanding of what the scene's supposed to be. Yeah. And they're not necessarily going to go into the minutia of what this entails, but we know that this is the motivation of the character. How you act it is what you do. So the director is supposed to just give them a motivation.
Yeah.
Like, this is where you're at. This is how you feel. How would you act when you felt like this? And then go. And then they sort of work on that.
And
they don't
cry.
say, all right, cry.
Yeah, they're not like, all right, at 32 seconds, what I want you to do is bow your head. Okay, bow your head, and you're going to cry.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. No, they're not going to do that.
But I mean, what else are you going to do if you're like, you just figured out you have cancer, you have to leave your girlfriend, do whatever you want.
I think that the directors word it in a way that just, it's not necessarily telling you immediately to cry, but you're going to get there, right? You know?
There was kind of a pretty, one of the nicer, not nice, in Donnie Darko, when they had they were panning the camera across after Donnie died, and they just show the different reactions of his dad, mom, sister. Sister's just crying her eyes out. Dad is crying a little bit too. Yeah, I mean, it was a really nice, interesting, and well done sort of thing, showing each of them dealing with their grief differently, and a mom sitting there smoking a cigarette. But anyway, yeah, it seems like you don't want. They were all just crying.
Well, yeah, and I mean, I think at the end of the day, right, the director's not there to do the actor's job. The director is there to set up this idea.
They should know the character. They should know. Right. The actor's job is to know the character, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
So if that character cries right now, great. If they just sit there and smoke a cigarette, that's cool. But I'm sure a lot goes into it with different types of people too, right? Like this guy, wasn't maybe the best director.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it sounds like he was a little, out of, he just wasn't, he's not seasoned. So, right.
You can make your actors cry. That's different.
Yeah.
Well, Kubrick, we'll just tell you suck. And then, feel like crap. So you just cry anyway.
There was an old movie.
Comes out,
There was an old black and white movie. I forget what it was, but the director introduced. It needed to get a little girl to cry, so they gave the little girl a puppy, and then they took it away. And the director, before rolling film, went over and told the girl they had to kill the dog.
Oh my!
All right, that would never happen now.
No.
That's
let me
up.
Google that really quick, because I'm almost 100% positive that happened. This is gonna gum up my Google history.
Yeah.
Director tells little girl he killed dog. nothing coming up quickly. Oh, well.
Uh-oh.
Fuck it.
Okay.
I'm going to interrupt here to give some more information on what I was talking about. The movie is Meet Me in St. Louis, and the story of the director making the young actress cry by telling her a dog died is not true. It is a popular myth. Anyway, back to the episode now. There was a pretty funny thing at the end of the commentary during the cartoon for the Tim Miller and the comic book creator guy. You know how there's the scene where the animated Deadpool kind of jerks off the unicorn's horn?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, vaguely familiar. He said it was he didn't understand it. Some countries are allowed to show the scene where Ryan Reynolds is getting a dildo in the ass, but it's not okay to jerk off a unicorn.
Well, we don't really see the dildo go in the ass.
Yeah, but
See
that
it.
Right.
I mean, his
You don't know
reaction
what's
is great.
happening.
Yeah, but you have to make the jump.
it's
Whereas
funny.
this one's
Yeah.
literally jerking off a unicorn.
Yeah. Well,
You
but
know,
he's jerking
I
off
mean,
the
like-
horn, and it was rainbows. I mean, you have to use your imagination there too.
Well, I don't know. If I was a younger person, I don't know.
So then,
I don't
for
know.
some countries, the depiction of masturbation might be pretty. Maybe that's just
What's
more
worse though? Isn't
forbidden.
like sodomy way worse almost everywhere in the world?
Maybe,
It depends
but
on what part of the world. Maybe I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
know. I'm not
It was
sure.
funny though because
It's not actual. I guess it's sodomy, but it's between a man and a woman. So
I mean, it was
don't
just
know.
great when he goes,
Maybe
nope,
they're a little
nope,
confused.
Yeah.
nope, nope.
yeah.
He tried, but no.
He's open-minded, but it's not for him.
Yeah, he's open-minded, but that was too much. All right.
But it was funny because he went off. He was just like, "Who makes up these rules?" And I'm like, "That's a good point." There's somebody in the censorship board at every country being like, "That's okay, that's okay."
That's not.
Dildo in the
right.
butt, okay. Unicorn jerking off, nope, ban it. Not okay. Somebody's in charge of
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, like what's the line items they go through in order to see if it's okay or not, right? Like what's the checklist?
Yeah.
That's what I want to know. Like
There's like
Oh,
10
nope.
different-
Like,
see, line 50. It says unicorn, can't jerk off unicorns. Line 50. Line 50. It's right there, guys.
yeah, weird jobs around the world.
Yeah, maybe.
So 250 time, guys.
Sure.
Yeah. John, would
Yeah.
you put this in the top 250 movies of all time?
I think so. As a comedy, I think it's hard to have. I think it's yep.
Yeah. You think so?
I
As
say
a
yes.
comedy,
I agree.
is that's with it's kind of with a little stipulation there.
Well, is it a
it's-
comedy
It's
superhero
not a
movie?
stipulation. It's
Not
actually.
too
I
many
just
of
think. I think having. I don't know how it will stand the test of time. It's hard to say because it's so new. But I think like consistent comedy like this is really hard to do. And this had so many funny lines in it. And so I think for that's what I'm not like qualifying it. I'm
That's
just
what
saying
Guardians of the
that's-
Galaxy is trying to do now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Trying.
hey, go
Yep.
go see the second one. It's good.
It's good?
really
I heard
Yeah.
it's
Oh,
really
it's
good.
good.
Yeah,
I
heard it's really
really
good.
Nice.
enjoyed it. But I really I thought it was really good. No, I think as a comedy, that's what makes this so good, and what I think might have it be like a really like a movie that stands the test of time. So I say yes.
Yeah. TC, what would you say?
Yeah, I say yes for a little bit of a different reason, mainly because I'd probably put some other Marvel movies in there, but this was such a different one that it was cool, right? Like it was just so separate from all the rest of these comic book type movies that I've seen growing up. So yeah, I mean, it was interesting, it was unique, and it was fun, and it was entertaining, John.
Oh no.
Top 250. I said fun, entertaining. I see what I did there. I did it all at once.
You're getting all of them in there.
Yeah. No, yes. So yes, that's a yes.
Yeah, I mean, I was gonna honestly go with either one you guys said. I'm on the fence on this one. I mean, it's hard to judge comedy, right? I mean, that's all it is a comedy. It's like a effective romance, I guess. I don't really care about that sort of thing.
Well, you're right. No, but it does do that well. There's
It
and
does.
that's fair too. We
Yeah.
talked about how there's these other components of it that you normally might not like, and they're actually done pretty well.
Yeah, it's just hard to it's hard to compare this movie to all the other movies we've been watching are just like, dramas, or just like if they're comedies, they're based in reality. And this is,
Yeah, we've got some heavy ones lately too. This
Yeah.
is such a nice break.
it is. Yeah. So, I mean, I guess, yeah, it's just hard to say. Yeah. And who knows? It'll be like Iron Man, I think. Iron Man kickstarted a whole like Marvel Universe thing. This one already has created Logan, which was another R-rated comic book movie. And that was pretty
Right.
good.
Not nearly as funny, I imagine.
Oh, no, but it was more violent. That movie was amazingly violent. It was great. But I mean, it's going to get bad at some point. People are going to overdo it, and you're going to have crap R-rated comic book movies at some point. So, you give credit to it now, but you'd be like, what have you done? Like now, this is all we have.
Oh, once we get sick of it, you're
Yeah.
saying?
It's like anything, though. Any
Yeah.
successful movie will do this.
Well, not really. I mean,
It made money. Now everybody will want. You have good movies that do well that don't necessarily make a lot of money. This made money, so now everybody's going to try to make money in the same way.
yeah.
That's true. That's a good point.
And it's going to be like the jokes are going to be terrible. They're going to get so bad, and they're still going to be popular.
They're not going to work as hard, but yeah.
Yeah.
But it's not fair to blame this movie for that. I don't think.
I'm going to do it anyway.
All right, you go ahead.
Look, it's happening, John. Just
Yeah.
accept it. Like
Yeah, I think that
sodomy.
matters.
Let's go.
I think it matters. Like I knock
you
the
said
Avengers
you
for
got
creating
Logan.
the Avengers 2 and 3. Like I still like
Right.
the Avengers a lot, but I mean, come on. I wish it hadn't have done that. Like Jaws. Wish it hadn't created Jaws 2, 3, 4.
Oh my god! And I watched them. Remember
Yeah.
me? I actually, I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, they're good.
It actually ruined hours of me and TC's lives.
terrible.
You know,
Yeah, it was terrible.
and it's
Waste.
Jaws' fault.
So you shouldn't do good things because it will create
Now you're
bad
learning.
things.
Now you make a
This
good
is-
point, John. Now you make
Right.
a good point.
Yeah.
That's a good point. I take back what I said. Was Jaws 1 worth 2, 3, and 4? Yes, I think so.
TCU just went through them.
Yeah.
Just
I don't know,
flashbacks, all
boys.
the 3 of the bad ones, just all in 5 seconds.
I just wish there was somebody out there that would like grab these people when they're thinking these thoughts and then shake them really hard. And be like, no, one.
No.
We only need one.
But
we
you
only
know
need
the
one.
studios are going to be
We
like,
need one.
even if it's shit, we're going to make money.
But I mean, each one had to make less money, right? If you watched
Yeah.
them like I did, I was like, all right, so this one had this budget, the next one had less,
But
the
the
next one had
famous
less.
people,
Like, why
people
bother?
drop off. They get shitty writers. They pay everyone less. The special effects are crap. It's just the name sells it. You know, like they can calculate the drop between the first and the second and see how much you can spend on the third one and do that.
Right.
Create a shit
and then
movie.
homies over there like, I could use a new car.
Yeah.
So what do you guys think?
Exactly.
Huh? Jaws 8?
Like we literally wouldn't have to do anything except green light and let a bunch of these like morons run around, make it for 2 years, and then people will shit on it and we can buy the car.
Yeah, maybe. All right. I see the logic. This makes good sense now. I'd still like to shake them.
Except for the Fast and Furious franchise. I don't know what happened there.
Well, so is Deadpool 2 finished or what?
No, I don't think they've started yet. I don't know.
Oh, okay.
But
so we
they-
got some time before that comes out.
Yeah.
See if it ruins it or
Yeah,
not.
I think I could be wrong, but the only thing I know is that the 2 writers are on and Ryan Reynolds is on.
I wonder
it's
who
got-
they'll get to direct.
It's got a release date of 2018.
Oh, so coming soon.
That is actually pretty close.
Yeah.
We
so
probably should
far.
have researched that, but yeah, well, fuck it.
It's okay.
Yeah, it's okay.
We watch a lot of movies.
We
We
do.
do a lot of things over here.
We do.
We do. We got a lot
wait,
going on over here.
Danny, did you ever give your yes or no? You're sitting there. hemming and hawing
I
over
was going to
there.
go with you guys, so yes. I was going to go with.
All right.
I was like, I thought both of you actually were going to go no at the beginning, but
yeah?
I'll
I liked
bandwagon it.
Deadpool.
I'll bandwagon out on this
Yeah.
one.
All right.
Yeah, I feel like I was a little bandwagon too, just along the way by other people like, oh, Deadpool, I love Deadpool.
Yeah.
Love Deadpool. Oh, Deadpool, I love Deadpool. Oh, you guys doing Deadpool? Love Deadpool.
Deadpool, you do
And like
Deadpool.
after a while, you're like, all right, you know what? I mean, that's like 5 out of 6 people.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Wait, so TC,
gotta be good.
You watched the Avengers like 3 times when we watched that one. Do you have
I
any
think
like
so, right?
inkling to watch this one again soon?
Yeah. I mean, if I hadn't waited till the last minute to watch it last night, well, was it last night? I guess I did it the other day. I could have watched it again. I'm gonna take that back. I mean, I could have watched it again. I would have. I just didn't. I
It's a
got
holiday
stuck doing
weekend,
something else.
so
yeah, right.
other
There
things
was
to
other
do.
booze to drink and other things to do.
Yeah.
like watch Dateline. I don't know. I think I was watching Cheers last night at some point. I had the joke. I was like, I don't really drink enough or go to the bar enough, so I got to watch it on television too. That's just my.
Got to learn
Sunday
how to
night.
do it
Monday
properly.
night. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
No, I would watch this again though to get back to what we're talking about for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
I should have watched it with the director's cut. I didn't know there were 2.
No, not director's cut, just the commentary.
No.
I mean, director's commentary. Sorry.
Yeah,
Yes,
watch it with the
commentary.
Ryan
That's what I
Reynolds one. If you have it, it's pretty funny. It's definitely worth listening
meant.
to.
Yeah, I just gotta download the Ryan Reynolds one and then play it along while I watch the one I
Yeah.
bought.
Do you get commentary with the downloads nowadays?
No, you got to find them out. People have like audio files.
Sync 'em
and you
up
just
or whatever?
Put them into you just put them in, or I just hit play
Oh, nice.
and then like pause until it syncs until it gets to a certain point,
Oh,
and then
yeah.
you can kind of turn the regular movie off because you'll hear the movie in the background,
right.
and once it's on point, you're good. I mean, it's good enough because they talk and they kind of duck the audio anyway.
They
so.
do, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. All right, yeah. Couple more yeses. We're gonna have a very full list. There's no room outside the 250.
Well, I mean, we've already said no a couple times, so it should give us some wiggle room.
Yeah. I might put the help back on there. I don't know. I watched it a few more times.
No, I don't think so.
Freaking good movie, guys. Seriously.
Oh
Gotta give it a
God.
second
I heard
shot.
someone say they loved The Help the other day while I was at work, and I just cringed. And I was like, oh, I'm not going to even go there because
How
if
much
I do,
judgment
it's going
just
to be bad.
passed in your mind for
Oh,
them?
are you kidding me? I was like, all right, never hanging out with this person.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can't even imagine the arguments we would get into. They would devolve so fast.
They'd be risky.
Be a mess.
They'd be very risky arguments.
Well, and then Terrence smashed something and left the room. I don't know. It was all because of The Help.
I think
whatever.
he thinks he won, and I actually do think he won too.
Exactly. All right.
So next week, guys, you guys said you hadn't seen this. The Truman Show.
Oh, I've seen this.
Oh, TC's seen
5
it.
times. I
5
love
times.
this movie.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's a good movie.
Spoilers. I've seen it too. John, you have not seen it?
I have not seen it.
That's
Oh,
amazing.
cool. I think you'll like it, John.
Yeah.
It's a deep thinking movie.
Yeah.
Cool.
1998.
I can't get my wife to watch it with me because she's seen it too many times. She's like,
So she likes it then. That's good.
she liked it, but she's
Too
like,
much.
"Nah,
Yeah.
too much.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah. But directed by Peter Weir, 1998 movie. An insurance salesman / adjuster discovers his entire life is actually a television show. So Jim Carrey.
Starting to be really prolific there.
Yeah.
Just gave away the whole thing.
Oh, shit. Sorry, John. That's actually the ending spoiler.
That's not the ending.
Oh,
What?
and actually, I wanted to say, sorry, if you're going to watch the commentaries, don't watch the Tim Miller one because he spoils the second movie. In one
does he?
And I won't say what it is because it kind of pisses me off that he did it.
Okay.
But it's it's like a character.
Well, actually,
development.
no, he didn't spoil shit, dude. He's not directing the movie. Nah, they probably changed it. They probably changed the story.
No. So what it was is it's something that it wouldn't be a spoiler, I guess, if you know the comic books, but I don't know the comic books.
And that's pivotal. Yeah, you should have led with that.
Yes. So there's that. So if you know the comic books, go ahead and listen to it. It's not great, but whatever. Let's go ahead. It won't spoil you. But if you don't, if you've just watched the movie, don't watch it because it like if it's true and it sounded like it was true because one of the guys said it. The other guy said like I can't say that under contract or whatever the hell. Like he was like I can't talk about that. So it was like shit. You just fucking spoiled like a plot.
So I think all that we've got to take away from that is just listen to the Ryan Reynolds one. No one's going to waste their time doing both.
Yeah.
Just pick one.
Except for me.
Ryan Reynolds. Yeah.
God damn it.
Well, you're not nobody. You're Denny. So
yeah, I'm just going to be sitting in my hospital bed and be like, 10,000 hours of audio
They're like,
commentaries.
so Denny, you're supposed to relax. You're like, nope, will not relax.
Yeah.
It's going to be a robot.
All right, yeah. So I think that's it for this one. Go to our website, mission250filmcast.com. Email us at mission250filmcast@gmail.com. On our website, our list is there. It's frozen. You can see what's coming up next and watch these movies with us. Rate and subscribe on iTunes if you liked it. And we have a Reddit page /r/mission250. John puts a post up there every week, and we talk about the movies and such. And I believe that is it for this week.
Oh, yeah.
It's Frozen. We're watching Frozen.
Frozen.
My daughter loves
the next
Frozen.
movies all are Frozen. Disney took over the list. I think it's Entangled is in there too. Sorry, there's one Tangled and 209 Frozens. Yeah,
It's princess time.
That would be the biggest I don't know
waste of time.
yeah, well that for sure, but punishment. Like if you had to punish us, you're like, guys, so that's it. I'm done.
That'd
You're
be a documentary.
Frozen.
We would just
for 209 times.
It'd be a documentary on how to drive yourself completely insane.
Like if we had a contractually obliged life here with this, imagine no, you must finish 250, and then you got to 209, and you picked the clause that was we have to watch Frozen for 209 more times.
Yeah, that'd be the end.
Oh man, I just walk. I'd be like, take the money. I'm done.
Good luck finding me. I'm going overseas. Yeah.
And by overseas, I mean I'm gonna live right in my place. Just don't call me.
Yeah. Please don't. Yeah. Don't send the cops.
Please don't.
Okay.
All right.
Anyway.
All right.
Boys.
That was, all right. Good enough joke, John. All right. Good.
All right.
All right.
That's involved.
Next week, guys. I'll talk to you later.
All right. See you guys.
All right,
Take care.
see ya.